Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. There might be a little extra bird chirping and car sounds in the background today because I'm kind of in a different spot here. Today's topics will primarily be about Donald Trump and later on one of my first episode of Musical Saints. Musical Saints will become a segment of my show that I will be making more of. This is not to be included in every episode because there is a lot to get to on the subject of musicians. The names that will be mentioned as musical saints on this show will be described to you as the same way they are advertised, and then I will be describing some of their fictional characters that they create within their own genre. Either that, or I will simply talk about a character that I found in their artwork to see if you can guess the artist. My hint to you is that you will probably find it in the comments at some point. So, now that I have that kind of wrapped up, I'm going to tell you a little bit about Donald Trump. Donald Trump is an American media personality and businessman who served as the President of the United States. Donald Trump was inaugurated as our 45th president on January 20th, 2017, and his presidency ended in January 20th, 2021. Trump tax reform plan was the largest change of the tax code in 3 decades. This law creates a single corporate tax rate of 21%. Many of the tax benefits set up to help individuals and families will expire in the year 2025. Donald Trump signed the tax cuts for the Job Act. This tax reform package was considered a lopsided or unfair tax bill. Because of the bill's significant and permanent tax cuts to corporate profits, investment income, estate tax, etc., this law cuts individual tax rates temporarily, and then it cuts corporate tax rates permanently. As many of you out there also know already, Donald Trump is well known for attempting to change facts, and as a result, there are countless videos of Americans slandering Donald Trump for his endless stream of lies. This does appear to make a mockery of the White House and the presidential seal. The reason none of these remarks sound very positive is because they aren't. None of this is a positive change as a nation. Furthermore, let us not forget that the primary reason that Donald Trump was elected into office and it was because of his promise to build the United States a wall on the border to Mexico. Ultimately, this wall would not be a positive thing because of the negative impact that something like this would have on our economy. The premise of building this wall in of itself is ridiculous. Of course, that wall was never made, and that's why its mark is never hit here in America. In my own opinion, the largest problem that we are having is a lack of participation. This does include members involved in our politics, or to excuse all other politicians from this particular conversation other than Donald Trump. Donald Trump himself did insist that he could somehow get another country to pay for his wall. Then outside of politicians, there appears to be a lack of voting members here in the United States. I attribute this problem primarily to the fact that most of us become very distracted with our daily lives. And other than that simple factor, there are stories that you can find where persons or people or a person are being subjugated away from voting, such as workers who are working for the company Amazon, protesting for time off of work during voting time so that they can get themselves to the voting booths. Furthermore, there are individuals who also lack the means to travel to the voting booths at the time of voting. Some people are worried about their vote is insufficient because when you do not feel that you possess enough knowledge, it may be discouraging for you to vote. I think that perhaps you should take it into consideration that many Trump supporters who showed up at the Trump rallies did not make a very educated appearance. I do believe we really need to make a point ourselves as adults to go vote for presidents at some point, moving forward after January 19th, 2021. Joe Biden was inaugurated as the 46th President of the United States of America. Not that I will be dabbling into Joe Biden other than that one statement today. Moving on to Musical Saints today, I will begin this part of the video by telling you this character is not going to be revealed in the video. I would just like to try this out and see how it goes. Don't worry, I do not plan on making this too difficult for you or anything like that. So with that in mind, the real celebrity who created the character that I will be describing is definitely a popular one. It pretty much always will be. And an extra hint for you on this one that I'm going to get right to the cleaver, or I mean meat of the ruse, meat of the vining. To describe this character, I see one that exists in glass, although not much is said outside of white. She seems to believe that she has enslaved someone or a large group of people, kicking and screaming gnarly's not a manic. Like a crazy person, her apologies are written in song as fans come indoors to see the soap. There is something very strange in the air these past few weeks, especially everywhere I go. This is the story of a person you have likely heard of by now. That is if you are using mainstream media. Something tells me the apology may have been sincere, but let us all remember that this is a fictional character built within genuine images of a person. Her persona may sometimes be that of a ballerina on stage, some very different or faster paced rhythms, and then some always soap or melodrama, to be more specific. She can live in a snow globe, and what she craves is mahogany. Likely the best in her field, this is not much of a riddle, is it? By now it's probably not much of a riddle to you. Well, that is fine, because it is not supposed to be a riddle, necessarily. However, we can only wonder as observers, or just maybe speculate about what happens next. I can tell you one massive problem that I have personally. It is that I have yet to hear anyone's opinion about her work, really. Come to think of it, I didn't really hear about speaking of it in our current media at all anymore. Leaving me with the questions like, do people just not care, or is it just feel the need to covet mainstream media as if it's some sort of secret? I mean, you're not supposed to take storytelling such as this as a real learning lesson, or personally at all. Usually anyways, my concern here is that there are people taking some of this dramatized world a bit literally. As a person who lives in public, I feel a little bit awkward at times as I watch many people walk by me each day. I begin to feel awkward how that behavior of some people out there appear oddly familiar, yet it is as if there is no more discussion from a personal level, as in person to person in public. I could kind of remember back, it seemed not too long ago, as I was kind of just touching on, always conversation going on, people constantly meeting each other. It was just kind of the normal way, my parents, it was that way for them. And so I hope you do not get me wrong. I am hip to the style of running around to do shopping in a hurry and, kind of always on the go. But I can remember it was not long ago that these casual public spaces had within them many persons chattering amongst each other. So perhaps this character that I am keeping in mind for this, is correct in implying that some people are enslaving themselves in a strange way. Obviously, people aren't enslaved. People are making their own decisions. If they're kind of making weird decisions, then that's what they're doing. So I'm going to be kind of dabbling on a little bit, just kind of for this, because I kind of wanted to touch back on something. I mentioned the word manic. I hear that word very much just kind of in the background of the media nowadays. You see, I think the purpose of this is people shouldn't be scared of a word. Yes, a manic is a real thing that exists in a person, and there are special homes for people who do have this disorder, and they are taken care of. They're not in public. They're not running around with normal people, or at least they shouldn't be. So it's really nothing to worry about. People out there, they go nuts in their own theory sometimes. You get someone a little paranoid, they're going to go off in their head, and who knows what tunnel they're digging in just infinitely forever, And the main problem is it's causing them problems intellectually, such as depression, just hard on themselves for no good reason at all. It's just hurting themselves, kind of. And, well, they're not getting anywhere. They're just going to keep on digging. So for this kind of thing to be such a big deal, personally, when I hear them just, blabbing on that manic word in media, mainstream media, I kind of choose to hear maniac, like a yak, because the word to me just doesn't kind of ring the same, because a lot of people, the way they're going to say manic is going to sound dark and disturbing. People are scared or frightened. They don't understand this is just a disorder. It's a simple disorder, and it's one they will catch. And obviously, you should definitely have a specially close eye on. You really can't have the same freedom as most adults having this disorder. You probably shouldn't even be here if you have this disorder, in my opinion, but that's up to you. Yeah, because my channel does get pretty controversial, and I'm, you got to kind of maybe like being wild up a little bit here and there, basically, if you're going to be on my channel, in my opinion. So outside of that, I really hope you're not making a big deal out of a word that's being repeated on the media in any way, shape, or form. All media's, they're just doing whatever it takes to grab attention. They know it's grabbing your attention, they're going to do it more. That's essentially it. That's all they're actually doing there. They're not Illuminati trying to look very closely at people and try to make things work out for everyone. That's usually just not their narrative. And if they haven't said that explicitly in their title or something like that, maybe it's a feminist group that has charity work and donations to some places in other countries where they're having issues with that, as I kind of talked about in my feminist video. There's things like that happen, but outside of that, mainstream media is not doing this. These are just these are factories of money, essentially. And I just kind of paying attention to people's behavior and the way they kind of are. People seem to take it way too seriously, and usually when someone's not willing to have open discussion about something, it's because they already have what they know is an awkward relationship with something or someone. And the reason it's awkward is because they're probably lying to themselves. And, well, that isn't good. I mean, people are going to do it. You're not, some people, that's just the way they're going to be. And we can't stop them, but I don't think you should lie to yourself. It's not going to help you. It's not going to be good for you. I never understood where this teaching comes from, to just kind of craft the world into a lie. It's not going to proceed us further. So I'm not getting all the way off this character. I know I'm kind of getting off it quite a bit. I still do want you keeping the character I'm talking about in mind, because you'll probably find her. Yeah, I guess I kind of already touched up on that as much as possible, on the specifics anyways. Kind of what's happening here in 2021, not to really push news, but, well, as I said, we just got a new president and everything like that, so I guess everyone's just kind of waiting to see where that goes. I don't have too much on it myself right now. I'm kind of working on it. So perhaps, yeah, we just need the correct method of approach, paying attention to most media. Obviously, speaking of things like the presidency, that is to be taken seriously. I know I caught a little dead end there. I might do that a little more on purpose sometimes instead of accident. Thank you for watching this video. Leave a like if you enjoyed this video. You cannot visit my Patreon. You can visit my Patreon with the link in the description section of this video. I'm still working on getting Patreon running. Subscribe to my channel to see more content. Feel free to leave a comment if you want. And that's about all I have for you today. I will work on improving my videos as much as possible. Bye.